Do you ever think about the moment when you help bring a donor who wants to change the world in the need your organization is addressing and feel there's something mystical happening there? We do. In today's podcast, Richard and I discuss the spirituality of major gift fundraising. Spirituality with a small s. This is not about religion, but it is about the spiritual nature of fundraising that we believe is inherent in the act of giving. We discuss this mystical act and talk about ways you can, as a major gift fundraiser, keep your heart soft and focused on your donor and the need.
Welcome to the Nothing But Major Gifts podcast from Veritas Group, featuring Richard Perry and Jeff Schreifels. Twice a month, we bring you the latest and best thinking about major gift fundraising, so you can develop authentic relationships with your major donors. Here are your hosts, Richard and Jeff.
Thank you for joining us today. Richard, today's podcast topic is a little different.
It sure is.
Today, we want to talk about the spirituality of fundraising.
Whoa. Now, as you and I know,
Yep.
This can be a very loaded topic.
Yeah.
So I think we should be clear that we're talking about spirituality with a small s.
Small s.
We're not talking about a specific religious practice or any of that. So
it's not about religion.
So don't get wound up. Just stay with us here. It's not about religion, but it's about spirituality. And what Jeff and I are saying here is that major gift fundraising, and in fact, fundraising in general,
Yes.
has a spiritual nature to it. Why? Because we believe that when a donor gives, when they give something of value, like their money, to solve a problem, to help alleviate a need, there's something mystical that happens, which is why we've always taken the position that fundraising and major gifts has nothing to do with the money.
That's right.
Money's a result, not an objective.
But you're right. Something mystical does happen. We believe that everyone needs to give.
Everybody.
We're not saying amounts,
No.
but everyone needs to give something.
Yeah. And you can check that out. Even the tightest person that you've ever met is either giving their time, giving advice, giving money, doing something, because that's part of the human spirit.
Yeah.
You want to give. And giving, does basically three things. I mean, giving money does basically three things.
Yes.
It first subdues the power of money.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Well, money has a grip on you.
Yeah.
And Jeff, you and I have talked a lot about this. In fact, we were talking about it this morning over coffee, where we all want to get it. We want to have it. And it has a certain power and attraction to it. Like it draws you.
Yeah.
And if you have money, I think the more you have, maybe if you don't have this right in your head, it starts to control you. I mean, we've seen situations where, in fact, I remember one MGO talking about a person that had a lot of money, but was worried sick about losing it, and so then had to make more, and and stock some away and do this and that. And this is more money than we ever would have imagined.
It's like a sickness.
Yeah, it is. So money has power. So when you give it away, it's releasing the power that it has over you.
Yeah.
Money also blesses the giver. That's the thing. That's the second thing that happens. Like you and I both know that when you give it away, there's something that happens in your own heart and spirit. I mean, it's like a gift.
You feel joy. I mean, giving away, you just feel this incredible rush of joy. And in fact, there's actual physical things going on in your brain that's happening. Dopamine, it's like releasing all this incredible stuff to make you feel good.
Right. So that's an interesting dynamic. It has nothing to do with money, except the fact that psychologically and emotionally you're being blessed. You're getting a gift from the universe that's basically affirming your goodness.
Right.
And I mean, we could go on and on about all the psychological and emotional benefits of that.
And then it transforms the life.
So that's the third
right?
thing. It transforms life or life like on the planet.
Yeah.
People, animals.
But it transforms the need into doing something, alleviating a need.
Mm-hmm.
So that's transforming.
Mm-hmm.
But it also is transforming the donor.
Yes.
Because giving away, they're feeling not just getting that immediate rush, but the feeling of being able to give away something and then get something back, to see something good happen with it, can transform who you are.
It does. So that's that form of blessing. And then of course, the last thing is it actually does good out on the planet.
Yeah.
So the three things that the giving does, it subdues the power of money.
Yep.
It blesses the giver, and it actually makes something good happen. It spreads goodness on the planet. I mean, those are wonderful things. And giving, the other thing is helps us get kind of outside ourselves.
That's right.
So we're not always consumed with what our thing is and what our troubles are. That's
when, we're talking to CEOs and executives who don't like fundraising,
mm-hmm.
Or don't want to do that. They look at it as a necessary evil. We start talking about, look, by not asking a major donor for a big gift, you're actually doing them a disservice.
You're taking from them.
Mm-hmm. Because they want to give. And by giving, they're going to feel so good. They're going to transform some need into something good,
mm-hmm.
yet also transform themselves. Why would you deny that of the donor?
But see, isn't that interesting, Jeff, that it's a lack of understanding of what the role of money is, that all money is doing is transferring value. There is no inherent value in money itself.
Yeah.
So like before money existed, what did we do? I mean, I gave you 3 chickens and you gave me a bag of potatoes.
Right.
I probably got the better deal. but we both perceived that there was some equal value there, which is why you did it. Now money comes in, and the only function of money is to transfer value.
Yes.
So when a donor is giving their money, I always like to say, well, like, how did they get the money in the first place? Well, they expended their own labor. Right. So that's how they got the money.
Yep.
So what they're doing is they're transferring their labor. They're transferring their personhood over to meet a real need. I mean, that's very personal. And secondly, it's very satisfying.
And I would say when that moment that they're taking all that hard labor, their work,
right,
and they're transferring that value over to you, to that organization, that's where that mystical thing happened. That's a holy thing.
It is.
Holy thing.
Yeah, it is.
And gosh, I remember when I was really young, 23, mm-hmm. and I was just out of college. I had my first job in development fundraising. And I was like in a one-person shop, so I had to do it all. Mm-hmm. So I remember I had to write these fundraising letters. And then I'd take them to the mail and do the whole thing. But the best part was when they started coming back.
Right.
All the reply email or reply mail at the time. And I'm opening up these letters and I see these checks for like $5. Mm-hmm. And they're like really scribbly. So it's a really old person.
Yes.
And then you're thinking, my gosh, $5. And then in the memo line of the check, this little old lady would write, I just wish I could do more.
Yes.
Or I'm so happy I could do this.
Yes.
And I was like,
$5.
Yeah. I was like, this is amazing. Mm-hmm. Like this is what she had. Who knows, that $5 to her was probably like a $500,000 gift to somebody else.
Yes.
Right. But in that moment, I mean, it just made me realize, gosh, something is going on here. When I was 23, I didn't probably recognize the spiritual nature of that right there. Mm-hmm. But when I've been able to step back and look at that, realizing this was a big thing for her to do this, and it made her feel so good. I mean, that is just it's an amazing thing.
It really is. Now, you know what comes to mind when I hear that story, Jeff, is this is why we feel so strongly about why the back end of an organization that handles the receipting and thank you and all that, needs to be staffed with people who understand the spiritual nature of fundraising, because if they don't, they're not going to steward it properly. They're going to treat these transactions as these gifts as transactions, and therefore actually diminish and demean the giver. When you get in touch with the fact of that story that you just told, when it sinks into your being, you get a sense of you know what, I've really got to take care of this in a very careful and attentive way. You will not be just processing stuff.
Whether it's a $5 gift or a $500,000 gift,
whatever it is. And we've talked to a lot of people about what the back end of fundraising and the back end of major gifts should be, and that it is as important as the front end.
Exactly.
So, like, if you're an MGO and you're out there talking to the donor, it certainly is important for you to understand the spiritual nature of fundraising and of major gifts. But if you're listening and you're on the back end of that, you're receiving, you're in the operations, you're IT, you're any of that on the back end, it's very important for you to understand that as well. You are actually holding in your hands a precious value of another human being. They've passed it to you. You've got it in your hands. And then you're passing it on to your program people to actually do good in the planet.
Right.
That this is a mystical, holy, special thing that happens.
And I don't think we really fully understand that. But here's the other cool thing, is that this is why I say that major gift officers have the best job in the world, because they get to be what I would call a broker of love. Right.
Like
because
that.
that's what's happening is this is all about love. A donor, hardworking their whole life, gives that gift to you. You take that precious gift, do something great with it. At that moment, you get to be that broker that brings that donor who wants to change the world and do something good with it.
Right.
And the need, and you make that happen. I mean, I can't imagine
nothing better
job than that.
Nothing better than that.
There is nothing.
Now, how? Here's an interesting thing to think about or talk about, Jeff. It's like, how do we recommend people keep their hearts in the right place on this point? Because as time passes, you if you don't watch yourself, you'll move from relational to transactional.
I have two ideas. One, I think, is you got to be in the need yourself. You got to have your heart broken by what your organization does. You got to feel it. So whatever it takes, you got to be in the need. And I think another thing is to give yourself. If you're a major gift fundraiser, give up yourself as well, whether it's your time, your money, whatever, to understand what that feels like as well. Because I mean, you've made gifts, I've made gifts. You know that feels good.
Right.
You want to bring that to other people. If you got that feeling, you know what it's like for them. If you've never really given a gift, you don't know how to empathize with that. So
I think the other thing, Jeff, is just being with donors. And maybe just on a regular basis, you could even put it as a task on your task list once a week to basically say, I need to remember to keep my heart soft. I mean, it could actually be an entry. Keep my heart soft. And you do that by thinking these thoughts that we've been talking about here. And then secondly, when you're with a donor, look at them in the eyes and actually get a sense of what's happening when they're handing over that gift to you. What's the deeper spiritual thing that's happening? Make yourself get in touch with that on a regular basis, because that'll keep your heart soft and in the right place.
I mean, just hearing the stories from the donors of how they came to where they are today will break your heart in many cases. I mean, just knowing, and then why they want to make a gift.
I mean, these are. So staying in touch with all of that is the most important thing.
All of that. So, we would love for you to get our book, it's not just about the money, because the first couple of chapters in this book is all around this stuff that we're talking about, the spirituality of it. And, why are we doing this work in the first place?
And we wanted to be clear, which is why we wrote the book. We wanted to be clear that that's the whole basis of our system.
Exactly.
It's not like getting the money. No, it's not just about getting the money.
That's right. And you can do that. Go to Amazon.com and plug in "It's Not Just About the Money," and you can easily get that book. So go to Amazon.com. It's not just about the money.
And there's a lot of resources on our website.
Oh, yeah. So you can go to our website as well at veritasgroup.com. And there are a ton of white papers for you that you can download for free, all about this work, why we do it. And we hope you will. And thank you for joining us today.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for joining us for the Nothing But Major Gifts podcast from Veritas Group. Richard and Jeff also write an ongoing blog that you can subscribe to for free at veritasgroup.com. Please join us again next time.